Although my first video didn't get a lot of views, though I kinda expected that, I decided to continue the series anyway. Originally, I was going to do a top 5 list of the hottest Sonic girls, but according to my producer, I'm not allowed to have an opinion. I think it's because of the different fan bases or copyrights for Sega, but according to him, I can't make that kind of list. So I'm gonna do something a little different. True Sega fans know that Sonic isn't their only mascot. They've had so many series, they've had enough material to make entire crossover games. So I decided it's time some of the pretty ones got recognized. So like I said, this means I won't be including any Sonic girls. Yeah, I know, but if you want to see a list of the hottest Sonic girls, just go anywhere else it's the internet.
I keep dreaming about my dream phone. I keep believing he'll call me when I'm home alone. He's gonna make my dreams come true.
Linda from Samba de Amigo. Samba de Amigo is one of those games that a lot of people remember but aren't 100% sure it was real. Well, rest assured it was, and it became a cult classic among Sega fans. The best way to describe the game is that it's a music rhythm-based game like Guitar Hero, but everything's Mexican themed, which automatically makes it better. As for Linda, she's basically a humanoid butterfly with orange to mocha-colored skin, green eyes, and a pink bikini with a heart-printed bra and lace-skirt panties. She's often described as one of the hottest samba dancers in town, and for good reason. Her slim body and the way she dances are clearly meant for fan service, accompanied by the fact that she's shown on all the game's covers, and she's almost impossible to ignore. Oh my gosh, I just realized that even though I'm not including any Sonic characters, one of the selections will probably please a lot of furries who've never had sex before watching this video. Congratulations!
Yay!
And you still never had sex.
My bed has room enough for two. Yeah.
Hatsune Miku from Hatsune Miku Project Diva. Do I really need to say anything? She's easily the most popular character to make the list. Hatsune Miku is a 16-year-old Vocaloid singer with turquoise twin tails and a cute voice. While not really starting off as a Sega character, her successful series of rhythm games made it impossible not to include her. What little girl wouldn't want to look like Miku? She's bright, young, cute, colorful, and is the only person I know to prefer lakes to ice cream. And if it seems like I blazed through her ID real quickly, that's because there's not much else to say. To me, Hatsune Miku's like the Boba Fett of Sega. She doesn't have much character and she hardly does anything, but for some reason everyone loves her. She even has her own manga. Why? Why did she have her own manga? Don't know. Don't care. All I know is that a little bit of coolness puts her above the honorable mentions. I love you, Miku. We all do.
I keep dreaming about my dream phone.
Sarah Bryant from Virtua Fighter. True Sega fans also know that Sega's no stranger to fighting games, and Virtua Fighter is one of their most successful series. Unlike most of the fighting games coming out at the time, which focused on magic techniques and brutality, Virtua Fighter stood out for being more grounded in reality. For the most part. Surprisingly, Virtua Fighter has quite a few contenders for hottest Sega character. I think Sarah was presented the best though. Nearly everyone is a sucker for blondes, but Sarah is a young college student who loves skydiving and relaxing on the beach. And I can relate. Minus the skydiving, of course. And if this isn't hot enough for you, they also made a Virtua Fighter anime, and I don't think it's because they had some story to tell. I think it was just so they could see this hottie in the form of an anime. As for blondes in gaming, my favorite is still probably Samus, but as far as Sarah goes, second place isn't bad, right?
Dream phone.
Split! No, no, not that Blaze. Blaze from Streets of Rage. Yeah, I know the beat-em-up genre is getting old, but I find them to be fun and even addictive when done right. As for Blaze Fielding, I've always thought sexualizing female protagonists was risky when making a game, but Blaze is a perfect example of when it's done right. The best way I can describe her is imagine if Wonder Woman was part of a street gang and had the personality of Lara Croft and Beatrix from Kill Bill rolled into one. I'm kind of at a loss for words here. All I can say is I know what fan service is when done right. And Blaze? Actually, I think I'm just gonna show you some fan art and let it sink in. Shadow Yamato from Eternal Champions. I know what you're all thinking. And no, she's nowhere near as cool as our Shadow. Eternal Champions is another game that a lot of people have heard of but haven't really played. If you choose to play it, here's what you're in for. First, you get a game that has a bit more weight and a bit more story than most of the other fighting games that have been coming out at the time. It has surprisingly deep lore for a fighting game. Whoa, this is a heavy game. As for Shadow herself, she's a dark-skinned ninja who combines ninjutsu with jujitsu to create some deadly techniques. She wears a dark tight leather outfit, a mask, and has long black hair. She worked as an assassin until she began to question her superior's motives, which resulted in her getting killed. After her death, her soul was collected by the Eternal Champion, and she participated in a fighting tournament between the other souls. After winning, she was able to go back in time right before her death and change her fate. Despite the game falling into obscurity over time, it was a massive success when it came out, and Shadow herself became a fan favorite, and it's not hard to see why. If you're into fighting games, I say check this one out, and look up Shadow art online. There's some good ones.
Believe it or call me when I'm home alone. He's gonna make my dreams come
Tyrus Flare from Golden Axe. Returning to beat-em-up territory, but this one's a personal favorite of mine. Ah, the memories. Playing as a bikini-wearing warrior, beating up evil monsters, beating up gnomes for extra goodies. What's not to love? Also, if those aren't gnomes, I don't care. Golden Axe started life in the arcades, but is better known for being one of the launch titles of the Sega Genesis. That's why the graphics don't look as impressive as some of the others. Unlike some of the other titles that were mentioned, Golden Axe is a little more well-known. In fact, some of you may have spotted one of its characters, Gilius Thunderhead, appearing in Sega Superstars Tennis.
I expected better.
As for Tyrus, she's a slim-built woman with long red hair and green eyes. Do I even need to explain why she made the list? She slays monsters in a bikini! It's easy to get most guys' attention when you have a woman who always wears a bikini, but give her the ability to kill a bunch of monsters at once, and you got a winner. Luckily, Tyrus hasn't been forgotten by Sega, as they created a Golden Axe spin-off later called Beast Rider, and they named the main character of that game after her. It's not the same woman, but at least that's something. Right? And to explain why she's called Tyrus Flare, here are all of her screen clearing special moves. There's also been a surprisingly lot of Tyrus cosplayers online. Think yours is the best? Let us know in the comments below. Even without Sonic characters, there are quite a few cuties that just missed the list. So here they are as honorable mentions.
I keep dreaming, dreaming about my dream phone. I keep believing he'll call me when I'm home alone. He's gonna make my dreams come true. My bed has room enough for two. Yeah, I keep dreaming, dreaming about my dream phone.
Ooh La La from Space Channel 5.
Hey there, Space Cats! Ooh la la here, coming at you from Spaceport 9. Tonight I'm investigating reports that aliens have invaded and are forcing people to dance.
Space Channel 5 is interesting because where most games try too hard to keep up with the time and fail miserably, Space Channel 5 is almost the complete opposite. The premise of the game is that aliens are invading the solar system and unleashing a new weapon that forces people to dance, and it's up to you to break the aliens' control over them and save the universe. While this sounds like a silly premise, the gameplay is even more ridiculous sounding. Yeah, I think you can see where this is going. This is basically a glorified version of Simon. Copy what the aliens do, and eventually you'll defeat them and save the people. A lot of you are probably saying, dude, that was on every store's shelves in the 80s. Do we really need a watered-down version on the Sega Dreamcast? Sega actually took a lot of liberties and tried to make this work. I mean, hey, not only does this game have a story, it actually has lore.
I found the last survivor from the spaceship accident. You'll be safe now.
Not deep lore, mind you, but lore nonetheless. Which, coincidental or not, matches with Ooh La La's character and attitude.
Don't worry, I'll take you out.
She takes it seriously because she knows that humanity is in trouble, but never to the point where she just stepped out of Hamlet, and it matches the game's tone completely. That, added with her slim body, pink hair, and rubber-like outfit, seriously, I think that might be some kind of futuristic rubber that we're not even close to having, puts her at the top of the list. And fan art like this can't argue. And it seems I'm not the only one who thinks that. Not only is Ooh La La a regular character in Sega's All-Star series, but in the racing game, the referee actively flirts with her.
Ooh La La is a fine race ahead of the pack. Well done and call me.
Indeed. Now for those of you who hate Sega's All-Stars and think that they should only make Sonic games, here's my response. That's about right. Now if you'll excuse me, my never-ending search for Ooh La La continues.
Another